right, guys, 9 o'clock. We are here. Well, almost here. We got Kyle in front of us. I can't wait to show you guys what the drag truck looks like. All right, good morning, guys. What is going on? Welcome back. We got our man Kyle over here. Oh, he's in uniform. He's got the Wrenchworks uniform going on. All right, so we are back at Coker Chassis and Fab Restoration. I always mess that name up, but it's Coker Chassis. With the drag truck, we are here. We're gonna be doing some more work. We're gonna be cutting some more things off of the truck. It has been an awesome morning thus far driving up here. Weather is beautiful, salt all over the road. We love it. But we're probably gonna go in, we're gonna jump right into work. So we might get right into work, and then we're gonna go into what Bob has done since we were here last. A ton has changed, a ton has been accomplished. It's moving. It's moving. I'm pumped, I'm excited. So all right, that's it. We're here. We're ready to work. We're ready to work. Let's do it. Take a look. She is back on all four in roller state. Tommy over here, we don't want to have him on the ground, so we got the truck up on the lift. That way he can stand and do all this welding. Some of this stuff is tacked, some of it's fully burned in, but this is starting to come together. It's looking like a truck. We got one door on here. Oh yeah. What do you say, Bob? What do you say, Bob? Bob's getting happy. When Bob's getting happy of how it's coming out, you know it's coming together. So a couple of these bars, what'd you say? You said these two right here are just...
Yeah, they're just temporary to hold the forelink till we get everything burned in.
Okay.
Diagonal's temporary. We're going to put a wishbone system on it.
Oh, okay.
That's
okay,
just to hold
gotcha.
us till we get everything welded in. We got a few more bars we're going to put in here to tighten it up. Nothing crazy, but it's looking...
Now, I guess explain to me, because I'm still a little... Now, this square down here, that's temporary too, just to keep everything in place?
Yep.
Now, what the wishbone system that you're talking about is going to control which movement?
Side to side.
Side to side?
Yep.
And that's going to go underneath the axle, something similar to that?
Well, it's going to be pretty much a Y from this pick point, that one, to center up front here.
Oh, so nothing actually goes across it, it's just from here... forward, okay.
Right. It's not going to be like this style. It's pretty much going to be a big Y that comes forward.
And that's going to tie into something down here?
Yep, to our bottom cross member. Once we get all this burned in, we're going to build a cross member with the dry shaft hoop,
Right, built into it. Yep. Yeah, so this bar right here, that's kind of close to the dry shaft, that's just temporary.
Yep.
So, awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. So pretty much by the end of today, a lot of more of this stuff's going to be permanently burned in.
Yep, we'll pick some shocks today, figure out what we're going to do there.
Yeah, I got a whole list that me and Bob are going to go over to try and... You got temporary struts here, keeping our ride height exactly how we had it last time. And then we're going to work on some of the way the stuff in the back is going to look, the fuel cell, the lift pumps, the air dog pumps and everything. This is how nice that all transitioned. Remember, we lopped the frame off. This piece kind of comes around so you can't even tell... You can kind of see underneath here where we that's all burned in, this bottom tube here. Man. And the doors, man, just the doors make it even look like a damn truck. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Big shout out to the guys that did the doors, because they fit.
GTS Fiberglass.
Beautiful.
Yeah, guys at GTS Fiberglass got us hooked up with the doors, front clip, and bed sides. And yes, we are still saying long bed. A lot of guys were asking short bed, long bed. Still going to be long bed truck. We already had bought the long bed bed sides. I kind of like that look, so we're coming. It's coming. Now, are we going to run? We're going to run this up to here too,
so
right?
We're going to triangulate something up into here.
Yep.
We normally don't build four links that are this tall.
Yeah. It's a little, it's a big girl. It's a big girl. All right, cool. Well, we're gonna get to work and we'll catch up with you guys here in a little bit. Let me catch you up here. Tommy's still doing the exact same thing he was doing all day, just welding. And I'm doing the same thing I've been doing all day, which is cutting these shock towers out, the coil buckets. So we got them roughly cut out. We haven't gone on to do any kind of final grinding or anything. I've been working on the other side, which is pretty much almost done, removing all of this nonsense. We are leaving the factory, not the factory bars, but the factory locations of where they're going to be mounting. We're just going to get some shorter adjustable, DOM control arms. So these are just temporary. We are going to change that, but we're keeping the mounting points on the axle. No sense in messing with that. But what we are doing, seeing that we are going to be running coilovers in the front, there's really no need for this bucket, obviously the top bucket either. What we're going to do is we're going to tie in from the cage up here, kind of come down, put a bar in here where the coilover is going to mount. Let me show you the other side where we've been working. All right, again, no finish grinding up here, but as of down here, all of that is completely gone. What we're going to do is mount our shock right to the axle. We basically took the front half of that, cut it on an angle for a little bit better aesthetics, but we're going to mount our shock right to here, have it come up, tie into that down bar that's going to come in right through here. So the factory way the shocks mount, I'll show you on the other side again, was actually just spanning this top bucket piece, and seeing that the spring was taking most of the actual physical weight, the shock mount is a little bit weaker than we really wanted to do, seeing that the coilover is going to be mounted right to that. So probably okay, but just for strength purposes, we're going to go right to the axle. Like I was mentioning. The original plan was to use the existing shock mount, but once we removed this coil bucket here, the way that it attaches to this little box here in the front looks just a little kind of and we're this far, so that's the reason why. It's C-notched over in here. Maybe I'll show you guys halfway through cutting this next one off, which is quite the pain in the ass process. I just said it, but we're gonna get this one cut off and we'll go from there. I'll show you a little bit better of the shock mount, but that is what we are working on. It is taking all day, let me tell you. But I did check, the transmission under there does have our parking lever, so we're gonna make sure we rob that before we leave. Don't let me forget. Is that every bar that's on there now?
Except for this little...
Oh, except for the little triangles?
Yeah.
And what are we up to weight-wise now?
186.
186. So we're definitely going to be at 200. I think since last time we had another X.
This X and this.
And this.
Pretty much all the blue bars.
Oh, all the blue bars? What are those? What size?
Inch, I think.
Oh, okay. They're a little smaller.
Yeah, inch or inch, I think.
So, what we got so the door bars just go from here, here down, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there's one in there already?
Goes from here down to here. And there'll be one more here to here.
Oh, right, okay, so one
will be a little bit lower though, so you can get in and out.
Okay, gotcha. And then mimic that on the other side, and then we're gonna run bars from here down into the frame, just short ones.
Up front.
And that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah,
we got to do some more stuff in the back.
Yeah.
We got to order the fuel cell and everything else, which we're going to go over here. Sweet. So about 200. 200. Very nice. All right, guys, so where we're at with the front, this side was actually quite a bit different. The track bar actually comes down, and the steering stabilizer bar shock mount actually is all tied into this one. So this one we couldn't go full crazy and chop off everything on the front, so we had to leave it a little bit low, but we'll still have enough room to get in our shock tabs and mount them right to the axle. So that's what this side looks like. We still didn't have enough time. I mean, this stuff takes forever, so we didn't even get a chance to clean any of that up, but that is stuff that can be done at a much later time before Mark has his way with it again and he paints it and we don't mess it up. So the other things that we got done here, we started mounting the cab to the frame. We got the roll cage all tied in down here. That's actually drilled through the frame and then welded around it. Little gusset down here, and that is how we are mounting the cab. We're gonna weld it fast right to the roll cage, seeing that the cab can't come off anyway. We're gonna cap that in the front there, but that's how we did that on both sides. So we got that done as well. As you can see, these doors are using the factory hinges. What we're gonna do is we're actually gonna modify the way the factory hinges work. We're gonna cut out a lot of this weight and then put pins in it. So when you open the door like this, you'll be able just to lift this door right completely off if you wanted to. So that's what we're doing on them. We still need to put an inside door latch in here. So we need to run like a bar from here down to the latch in here so you can open it from the inside, but it is looking good. Like I said, we're still gonna do the door bars. We gotta mount the seat as well. The seat still has to get mounted, but Bob was primarily working on getting the doors fitted and done. You can see this is how well it closes, opens and closes. These things are super light, but the 4-link is pretty much done. Pretty much done. Bob explained all that, so you guys already know about that. We still gotta order all the stuff for the back. Me and Bob are gonna go over that now and make sure we're gonna square up with the shock measurements, and yeah, I'll catch up with you guys here in a little bit. All right, so these are the shocks that we're gonna be running, the AFCO Big Gun shocks. These are the dual adjustable ones. They are, you know, valved heavier, basically all the bells and whistles. So I've kind of been over this, but I still get this question kind of a lot, is how to size shocks. Now I'm gonna go over here to this other tab up here that has another shock that we are gonna be using. This is the front shock we're gonna be using. We're gonna go over here to this information, and I'm sorry, this is kind of just a camera in front of the computer, but we know our ride height, which is the middle of the travel on the front, is gonna be about 14 inches. So right here, you can kind of see this shock is meant for 13.7 to 14.7, you know, or 13.25 and 14.25. So 14 is right in the middle of that. So when you're choosing shocks, if it's a custom application or you have delete plates or whatever else you might be doing, shock height, you want to get your ride height first because that's going to be the middle of your travel. Now at 14, we still have 2 inches down, which is the compress. So, you know, 12 to 14 is our downward travel, and then pretty much 17 is going to be our upward travel. So if you were to go to a shock that only had 13 compressed length, that's only 1 inch of downward travel, which is not going to be enough. Now this is more race shock. We're not going to have as much, you know, potholes and road, like speed bumps, stuff like that. So we don't have to worry about, on a normal shock, you would want a lot more travel. You would want at least, you know, 3 or so inches at least in either direction. So the shorter that you get, the less you're going to be able to have to move. Now our 16-inch shocks in the back, they have 3 up and 3 down just because it's actually a longer stroke. This is a 5-inch stroke for the front, 6-inch stroke for the back, seeing we have so much more room. So these are the shocks that we are going to be running. We're not going to get the coil springs as of yet because we don't know what the finished weight is going to be on everything. After we're done assembling everything and we get pretty much the truck almost completely done, fuel cell filled up, everything else kind of where it's going to sit weight-wise, we'll order the correct springs for the correct weight of the truck. So as of right now, we're just going to get the bodies, get the springs on it later. As always, just a massive, massive thank you to Bob, Kyle, and Tommy. Just keep plugging away on that thing. It's come pretty far, this fabrication stuff. Even just me going up there, it took me all day to grind, cut, torch. By the way, plasma cutter is my new favorite tool. That thing, grinders, who uses a grinder anymore? Plasma cutters are so awesome. So again, huge thank you to them, even letting me come up there and hang out and help work on it. Thank you for them for working their butts off and trying to get this thing done as quickly as possible with all the other stuff that Bob's got going on in the shop. So it's pumped. Every time I go up there, it's getting closer and closer. I'm really excited. So huge thank you to them as always. They're gonna work on the fiberglass bedsides and the front clip coming up. We got some more stuff rolling in. We're gonna order the fuel cell, all the other miscellaneous stuff to get hung on the back. That way we can work on that stuff as well. That's gonna do it. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video. We are gonna be, oh, I forgot one last thing. We did happen, as you guys saw, we happened to get the transpan, the parking lever, actually had fittings on that transmission as well. So we're gonna go over and get the transmission installed on the 05. So make sure you stay tuned for tomorrow's video. I'll see you guys. See ya.